today I'm joined by Nicole Sime, which is a creative senior creative manager at WindowsWear, and together we kind of like oversee all the content that is on WindowsWear. Nicole is able to, based on the content that we have every month, she's able to put together trend reports, usually monthly, about like what is out there that the brands or the retailers are doing in order to engage with their customers as far as like with visual merchandising or in store or in pop-ups or whatever. And there's a trend that has been going on not long ago. It probably started like last fall in 2019, and it's about like gaming and all these. I feel like the fashion industry especially has a thing for like nostalgic items. They love like to recreate things from the past, and they love to like revisit archives and stuff. So a lot of brands have been inspired by the video games from the 90s when the video games were so basic, but it was that it made them so fun. And a lot of these brands have been kind of like following that aesthetic in order to kind of like connect with younger audience. So many articles out there saying that gamification is going to be a huge trend even in the following years. Especially now in these times, we're seeing that a lot of brands are executing kind of like different types of games that they might not be as complicated as or like as elaborated, but they're simple. They have branding, and they make the customer kind of like remember the good old days of all these video games. Nicole, anything you want to say about this?
I think it'd be best to just start with showing the visuals that we have and seeing how all the brands have participated in the gaming industry and how they are trying to dive into that market.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to share my screen. And you guys can find this content on WindowsWear because it's already there. Nicole put it nicely together. So welcome to the new high fashion and gamification. It's very interesting to see how brands are able to apply their branding and into all these different concepts. And some of the time they will do it in like cities, just certain cities. It's not a concept that is globally, especially when it's about like a pop-up or something like that. So here we have an example of like the Coco Chanel Game Center, which in my opinion, Chanel is one of the kings are always putting their logo on something else and just make it like look like just high-end and sophisticated just by stamping their logo. And it could be the most simple or the most like average thing, such as like a arcade video game, just like here. Okay, I'm trying to remove this. Yeah, gaming is gamification is a it's a very nice way to engage with younger generation, especially Generation C. But the brands think that it's also kind of like a way to bring their heritage and their logos and their products to a much broader audience. Even if they're not gonna shop, they want the younger generations to know about what is the hottest products that they are, or it's about brand recognition. So they were saying that it helps them also to not just sell products, but also to kind of like connect with younger generation that might not be familiar with the brand or with the product. This particularly, the Moschino is one of the most...
I'll cover this one.
Okay.
So for the Moschino one, they collaborated with this game called The Sims, and they have a huge audience and following with this game. There's about 400 million people that have downloaded this game since the early 2000s. And currently they have over 80 million players right now and growing. So Moschino is known to have very funky designs and very campy. And so the creative director, Jeremy Scott, actually collaborated with The Sims because he loves like pop culture things. And so you could see here in the clothes that they took like little details from the game into their collection. It's a capsule collection, 37 pieces. And so with that collection, in honor of that launch, they released virtual clothes in the game as well, which you could see in the bottom there. And a lot of the users can just buy the clothes to wear in the game. And so they took this as an opportunity because, you know, they have 80 million players. And so that's a huge opportunity for Moschino to bring awareness for them, for people who may not have known the brand before, so.
Nicole, this is the Moschino one is a game that it always can be played is within the app, correct?
Yeah, so it's like on the Nintendo or Xbox, even on your computer, your phone. It's a very popular game, and you can like just recreate your life on there. So yeah, and then you can see that same visual cue and like aesthetic from that collection in the retail space as well. So this here is from Saks Fifth Avenue back in April.
Yeah, very cool. Hermes is kind of like a brand who I always think that whatever they do, even if they're gonna follow a trend, they're gonna follow it in a much different way than the other brands. They're super sophisticated, and I feel like they're always trying to target to a much older audience. So they were following these games kind of like a trend. We can see here in the windows that it was more not as technological as the other brands, but it's very well executed. These displays are actually made by one of our WindowsWear members, Harley Quinn, which is an amazing company based out of London. And they were able to manufacture and design all these board games inspired in like chess and like serpents and ladders, domino, etc., etc. Hermes actually joined the app, and I'm checking here my phone, the games on the apps, and they have this app where basically they, because they were very well known by scarves, you have this scarf, and you need to kind of like find the pattern to identify what is the scarf that you have in the game. And you can play, and it's very funny because you can play this game with your Apple Watch. So you have it installed in your phone, and then you can play with your Apple Watch. And it's just like another engaging way to make you know more about the products, to discover latest trends. They were saying that they also put like new scarves in like new designs every now and then, so you can kind of like play around. It's called, yeah, A-Pitch. Here it is. And the one for the phone is called H-Break, which kind of like allows you, I'm trying to show you. I don't know if you can see it. It allows you to kind of like find what is the pattern. So you flip the squares until you find like the perfect pattern for that scarf. We have next Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, this one's actually one of my favorites. So Louis Vuitton had their fall 2019 show, and the show was inspired by the New York City street landscape. And so you could see here in the set design, it's all New York City inspired. And then even in the picture below, there's like a performance going on, kind of like this New York City vibe. And so in honor of them releasing this collection in the stores, they released this game on their website. So when you're going to purchase these items in the store online, you can also play this game. And so the game actually mirrors this show. which I believe, Raul, I sent you a link if you want to show them. But
Nicole, did I hear you right? So when you order the product, then you get the option to play a video game?
you don't even have to buy the product. You can just go on the website just play this game. But
Awesome.
if you want to purchase things too, you could do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they mirrored everything in the show in this game, and it's a very like 80s retro inspired game. And they even mirrored the figure that was in the performance in the show.
Which wasn't inspired by Michael Jackson?
Was it that collection, the 2019?
I think it was this one, yeah.
Yeah. So this is on their website, and if you press like the space button, I think you can like start it.
Yeah. This to me, it was one of the better executions of the game. It just literally it just gave me so much nostalgia from when I was a kid and
Is that John Harari's speakers?
games. No, this is a game.
I know. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm not making any progress in this game, but
Yeah, but they get the point. Yeah, so it's very New York City inspired, and then you also can see like how branded it is also with collecting these like Louis Vuitton like logos and things like that.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like it says like collect icons and hard to find stuff.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
At the same time, they released this pop-up, or a little bit after, I think. They released this pop-up that it was kind of like a huge hit in Soho, in New York City. There used to be lines like across the street just to kind of like, it was a small pop-up, so they were just allowing like a few people at the time. But everybody just wanted to kind of like have an Instagram picture in this installation because the color was, you know, it's inspired in this color that you get as a background whenever you want to put another background in. It's used in production. It's called chroma. So there was a huge line to get into the store. The decoration kind of like was inspiring kind of like a teenager's room. That it was a little bit messy with a couch, and there were like pillows, and there was like actually a video game and a TV. I'm gonna show it right here. Yeah, so you can see it there. And there was, of course, like they were showing the product, and they were selling the product. The exact collection was actually very well received. It was, if I'm not mistaken, it was the second collection from the creative director for men's, which is Virgil Abloh, which I was reading that in just a matter of 6 months, in his first 6 months, he had returned to the house his yearly salary and all the investment that the company did for his show. So that just speaks about how much he was able to connect with the consumer and for the consumer to be buying all these products and I guess that's when Louis Vuitton sees the results. It's like, okay, how much more money do you want to create all these concepts that, of course, are really working and engaging with the customer. This pop-up was in New York City for about 2 months, I guess, in Soho. And it's a space that I think Louis Vuitton now has leased, and now they just change it with every season that they have a new concept, they just change the concept in their own store. Michaela, Nicole?
Yeah, so Louis Vuitton is actually one of the first brands, and also Prada, to like participate into this like gaming industry. And so this one here on the left, you could see that this was in 2012. They used these like characters from this game called Final Fantasy, which is actually a really popular game. Mm-hmm. And they used that character for the face of the brand in this campaign. And then also Prada did that as well with the 12-page fashion spread. And so you can see that a lot of brands now are trying to merge the line between real and virtual. And so since that's becoming so popular nowadays, now you're seeing, you know, supermodel like virtual dolls and like influencers. And so here on the right is Lil Miquela, which is actually a very famous influencer. And
That doesn't exist.
right, it's just virtual. And you'll see her wearing a lot of like the latest fashions and actually attending the shows. I remember she actually did a takeover on the Prada Instagram of going to the fashion show, wearing like clothes. And she also collaborated with Supreme and Chanel and Dior. So a lot of big brands are taking this opportunity to just participate in that and use virtual like outlets.
So that influencer does not exist in real life.
No, but I do believe that it is a person and that they just edit that person to be virtual.
Yeah.
Or is it a complete animation?
No,
it's all a mystery that people are trying to like figure out.
No, I mean, like that, there's a person behind it, but it doesn't look anything like her. You can follow Instagram, it's at Lil Miquela, and you can see it. She just looks like a real person, and she has photos in like cities and at fashion shows, but it just doesn't exist.
Yes, she recently just did a campaign with Calvin Klein, which was actually really controversial. But yeah, I don't know if she's a real like person or I don't know.
Well, no, she's not. She's not.
Well, she kind of is because
there's a person behind her, but that image is not of a real person.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Okay. Yeah. What you were saying, Nicole, is very true. Nicolas Ghesquière, which is a creative director of Louis Vuitton, he's always been known for his futuristic approach to everything that he does. He loves architecture. He loves modern and his inspiration is always the future, and you can see it there. So he was one of the first ones to kind of like embrace this trend.
Yeah, he actually signed a 2-year contract with that game to create the clothes for that game. And so people can buy like the virtual clothes. And then also they put on their Instagram this like special filter where you can wear the characters like clothes from that game. So like the tiara or earrings and things like that.
Okay, the Coco Chanel Game Center, which we are kind of like already talked about. This was kind of like a pop-up. People were actually able to go to this place and play around. This was in in Hong Kong, if I remember correctly. In Japan. Located at the Lux Museum. It features a slew of fun game stations named after popular products from the Chanel, such as Rouge Coco, Chance, and Hydra Beauty. Visitors can even win exclusive products such as like the Chanel No. 5, body lotions, and makeup, so much makeup. Again, I feel like Chanel's always been, even in the fashion shows and the pop-ups, they've always been like a great example in how to put your brand out there in one of the most like normal and simple things and just make it look like a cool experience. I mean, this was actually a great production, you know, to manufacture all these games that actually work, and it was huge. Okay, this is probably one of my favorites as I was playing early on, and it's if you download the Gucci app, it's the app that you can also shop by, but it has a section that is called Gucci Arcade, and it has a series of games inspired by. I'm gonna have to see. Inspired by the old games that the arcades that you can play, which is kind of like a ping pong, and then the other one where the ball kind of like travels around like some obstacles, and then you have to skip it, and you actually win points, and you actually lose, and you actually win. So it's really fun to play this. And I was gonna show you something, because what I love about this is the aesthetic that they have. and they're always is loading, but they play in the games. You see kind of like little elements from the Gucci house, like the B and the double G and the buckle, and kind of like even the kind of like the sparks and the stars, all these like kind of like design elements that Gucci use in their actual clothes and in the sneakers that you see and recognize. They're able to use them in the video games, and I feel like that's awesome. It's just such a way to put them in your mind and just not forgetting them. Okay. This to me actually has one of the best graphics, I would say. I can say that they spend a lot of money designing this game because the graphics looks very like, it just looks like a real game, not some kind of like thing that they try to execute fast. If you will tell me that it was behind Gucci, I will believe that it's a real video game. The graphics are amazing. You can play it, you can download the Gucci app and you can play it around.
Yeah, they release a game every single few months.
Yes, they have.
I was on the app last night actually, and they released a beauty launch. They released like 40 shades of lipsticks, and so when you go on the app now, they have this game where it's like a pinball machine, and it's all lipsticks, just to promote like the recent launch of that.
Yeah, pinball. That's the correct name of this game, Nicole. That's true. Yeah, they have such a. I have right here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, different that you can play. So this is pretty.
Bro, are you the top scorer on each of those?
I'm not. I mean, I was never good at video games. Never, ever.
You weren't even born then.
And a
lot of these 80s retro games. You weren't even. Do you remember those days?
I was like 5 or 6. But actually, the Gucci one is actually like very challenging to play. I was playing this morning, and it's really challenging. Some of them are really simple, like the Louis Vuitton. I think is really simple. I think it was the idea to make it look like a simple game. But this Gucci thing is like really is for somebody who would really spend time on their phone.
Yeah, and same with Saint Laurent on the right.
Yes.
They actually use a lot of props, gaming props, in their stores. And it gained a lot of attention, this Dance Revolution thing, because people actually thought that you can walk up and like play it. So people would see it in the window and then they would like go walk in the store and try to step on it. And they were like, no, you can't, because it's just a prop. So,
in my opinion, I think that was kind of like a missed opportunity. Like, why?
Missed opportunity.
I got yelled at for trying to dance on the DDR.
Yeah, I went with Jolene once to the store.
And I went.
Yeah. Yeah, and like the mat like lights up, and then the screen here plays like their video campaign on loop. And
Alex, can you just everybody say hi to Alex?
Hi, Alex.
Alex, wave. What you just said? What you just said? What did you say about that game? He says, "Can I get that game?"
Well, I was actually going to say they're selling this prop here. Does anyone want to take a guess at how much it's worth?
$50K.
More.
More than
$100 stimulus check.
Say that again.
How much is it, Nicole?
$100K.
It costs $224,000. This prop here. They also have an air hockey one that's very similar. It's really beautiful. It's stainless steel. It's all chrome. It's a very special piece. And if you go on the YSL website, you can inquire about it if you want it. And they also have in the store this little gaming thing here that has like 680 games on it. It's like arcade style games. And that retails for about, I think, $2,400. That's also a special piece because you cannot just walk into any like Saint Laurent store and purchase that. They only have it in like certain locations, which is the Saint Laurent Rive Droit, which is also in Paris and in LA. I don't believe they have it here in New York, but you can buy it online if you want.
Yeah. John, we should use that example for the other project we're working on. Okay, Uniqlo.
Yeah, Uniqlo also collaborated with this game called Monster Hunters and like the Marvel team. And so they created a collection here that's just very game inspired. And then you can also go in the store and like play these arcade style games.
Yeah, just kind of like adapting them to their own market, I say. Okay, Race to the Moon with Burberry B-Bounce. This Ricardo Ticci, the creative director of Burberry, since he joined the company probably like almost 3 years ago, he has always has this kind of like fascination with like this deer that is right here. And for the release of this collection, of his latest collection of like puffy jackets, where he was inspired by the old Burberry logo, they released this game that you can also play in the web. And you can actually win outfits for your character, which is pretty fun. So you earn them, and then your character can like change them every once in a while. And we have this is a very interesting quote here that from Mark Morris, which is the vice president of Burberry, says, "We have experimented with gaming in China, but B-Bounce is our first playful extension into this format to entertain and connect with our new younger consumers around the world. We know that they are living in an increasingly gamified environment, both online and offline, and we are excited that they can join the Burberry community and explore our new puffer collection in this way." So again, it's just not a matter of like putting your logo and your brand out there, but also, for example, for them, they were pushing a specific collection, which I think is amazing. The fact that you can adapt you already build the game and you already build the character and like what it is about. And then you just, every season you customize this game with your new products. I feel like it's just great.
Yeah, you could also purchase the jackets that the character is wearing and even select like which jacket you want to wear.
Yeah. Most of the apps that we're analyzing, they allow you to buy the products directly from that app.
Yeah. Someone actually said in the chat that they actually had a special launch for the Burberry game for Chinese New Year. So that's interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and also Fendi released a game on WeChat specifically to target the Chinese consumers that are on that app. And you can see a lot of like the brand codes in this game. You could see like the store there, and then also the Spanish Steps in Rome, and then the headquarters because they're based in Rome. And then you can collect coins that have like the Fendi symbol on them and like these bags. And so it's just a lot of representation of the brand. And they actually had this prize where the top 1,000 players had that chance to actually win a trip to go to Rome for 3 nights.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fun. Again, Fendi using his heritage and like all the things that they're known for in this game, such as like the columns, the architecture, the Roman architecture, etc., etc. Okay. Dress. This is probably, I don't know why, I feel like a little bit weird saying this, but this is probably the game that I was able to understand the most. And and it was very fun because Dress is like it's like a shopping app. And it's just such as any other app, such as like Net-a-Porter or Modo Operandi when you buy like high-end stuff. But they have this game where they kind of like give you like a challenge every now and then. And you can you can play that you're the stylist, and they tell you, okay, you're gonna have a photo shoot and you have this budget, and this is a model and this is so many options, and you're starting like trying to select the clothes, and there's a model right there, and then you try on the dresses, and then you say like, oh, I don't like it, and then you change the shoes and all that. I'm gonna show you a little bit. See if I can. I don't know why I'm not looking at myself. Wow. Can you see it, Nicole, or no?
The purple screen is on your phone.
It's just because I don't see myself. But it's basically like you earn points, and then you kind of like spend them by buying these models that you have here in underwear, and you can put a dress on, and shoes and bags, accessories, everything. And all this is like real products from brands that you know, and they have the price right there, and you can shop them right there. What it struck to me about this game is the amount of work in having all these products photographed in the right direction to kind of like for you to be able to dress this model. There's thousands of products that they look just like an amazing e-commerce picture, and then you're able to put them in the model, and then once you have your model dressed, you submit your styling, and then they qualify you. Oh, this is great. This is not. You got these points and blah blah blah. This was really fun game. And also more than a game, I guess, like if you're a woman and then you're trying to see how this dress will look on you, you can kind of like take a reference from like how it looks in the model. So it's really, really fun.
But you can purchase the clothes that are in that game in real life.
Yes.
And same with this game here on the right. It's called Ada. Very similar concept to Dressed. You can just like try on these virtual clothes that are actually in real life. Same with the interiors. So here in the background is like this Dior background, which is actually a real pop-up that Dior had. So they had a digital pop-up here in this game. And let's say if Prada has 500 units of a special jacket, then in this game, they will mirror that in real life. So they'll only have 500 of that product in the game as well. And then you can share like your outfits and like your interiors and stuff like that on social media to bring like the fun to it or just brand awareness. And yeah, it's constantly growing. Pearl, do you want to like cover anything?
Yeah, because now I'm able to show.
Yeah,
it's really fun. And then you pick like whatever. It's hard with my background, but you pick this top, let's say. And then it is. Yeah. And then you put like shoes and everything. But it's amazing that, again, it's just fascinating the amount of like work that they're doing in order to have the latest products in a game photographed and kind of like in the shape of this model that is right here, so you can see it, you can really try them, and then you can zoom in and you can see the model in like the full resolution and stuff like that.
Yeah, now even with this global lockdown that we're all facing, gaming is really surging right now because a lot of people are trying to find a way to like kill their boredom in this.
Yeah.
We can't go out, we can't, dress up or anything like that. So a lot of people are actually turning to gaming, and they say that by 2021, that the gaming industry is going to be worth 146 billion, which I'm sure is more now because they're saying there's just a huge increase in a lot of the gaming. Even in the dress, someone said that there was a 50% increase right now with downloading that game. And you can even see other brands are taking advantage and trying to participate in this because they're turning to social media to create games like Salvatore Ferragamo. They're doing like a trivia right now. Even Alexander McQueen, they're creating like a challenge for people to like participate in. And about 12,000 people already have like participated in that. And it only started last week.
Yeah. They will give you a reference, right? They were giving you an inspiration, and then you were sketching like a design, and you would split your design using like a hashtag, and like they will for a chance to be featured, stuff like that.
Right. So the recent challenge they had was a rose dress that was part of their collection, and you had to re-sketch it in your own way, the rose dress.
Yeah.
And then another thing too is like one really big game right now that's actually all across like social media is this game called Animal Crossing, which is very similar to The Sims. And a lot of people are recreating like luxury branded clothes that are from real life. And they're taking screenshots of that and showcasing that on social media as a way to showcase their outfit, because, you know, now we can't go out and show our outfit anymore. So they're turning to that to do that.
Nicole, what is the name of that?
It's called Animal Crossing. I actually have a link here that someone did. I can send it to you so you can show it on your screen. Check it out.
Okay. Oh yeah, I think I've seen this online.
Yeah, it's a very big thing right now. I've seen a lot of like Louis Vuitton, like this one's a Marc Jacobs look.
Yeah.
That people
so
are recreating. And if you go on their page, you'll see more like looks that they have.
So there, these are animations of latest styles coming off the runways.
Yes, people are recreating the styles from the runways. So
in a virtual, it's like virtual elements.
Yes. They're not in the game, but they're redesigning it in a way.
Which is like a game. It's like a way to make people participate in something.
Someone said Animal Crossing is currently on back order because it's in such high demand. Wow, that's crazy.
Nice. Thank you for all this feedback.
Yeah, thank you.
A lot of the brands are also like, since this lockdown started like a month ago, they were starting to kind of like be more present on their social media channels. And as Nicole was saying, Ferragamo now has a trivia where you can, in a week before, they tell you all this information about the House of Ferragamo and key pieces and dresses and like just like fun data if you're like a fashion fan. And then the next week they will ask you a question and you will try to guess. Bottega Veneta is another luxury brand which is doing kind of like the gaming thing in a more, I would say, sophisticated way by featuring important person every week, and they will ask that person all kinds of questions such as who's your favorite actress or who's your favorite like artist and what is a piece of Bottega Veneta that you like and blah, 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 just so you get to know more people. WindowsWear also joined this thing of games, and last week we started like the WindowsWear lineup, and it's a series of games through the week, one game per day, and it's basically from trivia about like visual merchandising stuff, pop-ups, installations, anything like that, through kind of like archives. Today is Throwback Thursday, so today we had like an amazing story about like the Yves Saint Laurent, the first kind of like collection that he did and everything, and it's just fun information that not many people know about it, and it's great to grasp it just with like a few taps in your phone. So it's again, we wanted to kind of like push the content that we have in our different like aspects of the website. We have from window displays to interiors to packaging to AR, VR, archive. So now is a perfect time to kind of like showcase that even more with you guys. So don't miss it. It's every week. It's every day of the week in the mornings. We posted it like around 10 a.m. and it's fun. Anything else, Nicole? Does anybody have a question or a suggestion or something to share?
Away if you want.
Like just the amazing information that you guys share.
Hi, Kathy. Is Kathy about to say something? Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
What's cooking? Where are you? Are you in New Jersey or where are you, Cindy? What's cooking at the NFL lately?
I am in.
There she is.
There I am.
Hey, Cindy.
Hey.
Hi.
Where's the puppy?
Oh, they're shush. They're sleeping. Puppy is 5 months old now. Then I got the 3-year-old. We're trying to sort out how draft is going to look like in the commissioner's basement. So.
That's right. I heard he's doing it from his basement.
Yeah.
He needs a good WindowsWear background.
Well, they're saying he doesn't want to, like we wanted to put a draft thing behind him, and he's like, no. He's saying I guess he's going to go Fallon mode or Stephen Colbert mode. He wants to keep it kind of natural.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
What'd you think of all these games?
Oh my God.
Yeah, maybe it's
I've
not
already
like Madden.
downloaded,
Maybe it's not
I've already
Madden
downloaded
football,
the
but,
Gucci
you know.
one.
Yeah, if anybody knows about games, it's the NFL. I mean,
Yeah, right?
it has been such a big, like, juggernaut in the industry of the gaming world. So I can imagine.
Yeah.
Cindy, you've got to get some of these luxury clothing and accessories like animations into the NFL games.
Oh, I know, right? Oh my God. Because we have a new, she's been there about a year. Rachel Hoagland, she came from Hasbro, but she's supposed to up our, because we're so far behind with gaming. So she's got a whole team of people for the gaming industry now. We're working with her. Yeah.
Yeah, all these examples, and the interesting is all these examples, as complex and complete as they sound, most of them, they were born last year, correct, Nicole? Like most of that, aside from Louis Vuitton.
In that time frame, yeah.
Yeah, so for brands to develop something like this in such a short notice is just fascinating, the amount of like efforts that they were putting into this.
Yeah, so someone asked the name of the Gucci game. You can just download the Gucci app in the App Store, and in that app are the games that whatever one you want to play.
So,
it's the library.
Yeah, it's the normal Gucci app. It's the only one app. And then once you get to the app, in the bottom, there's something that says Gucci Arcade. And then it changes you the mode of your phone for to play. Which it was great to me this because some other, for example, the Hermes app has two different apps, one for shopping and one for the game. So then it's really tricky. This is just
That's a missed opportunity.
This is just one app, and it has everything from shopping to store locate, everything that you want to know about Gucci. But they're also like the shopping, the gaming there. So I think this was genius. This was probably my favorite if I had to pick one.
Cindy, is that the pooch?
That's the puppy.
not such a little doggy, huh?
No.
Okay, anything else, Nicole?
Someone asked a great question. How do you think this will affect window displays?
I don't think it will affect them. Which I'm trying to think of an example.
The lapdog.
But yeah, I think in the Burberry store, just this Burberry game that we show you guys, you could actually play that game at the store in a huge ass screen. So for me, that was a perfect combination of like gamification and like in-store like presence. So you're able to play on your computer, but also if you get, I think it was the Regent Street boutique in London. You were able to go there and just play like this game in this huge ass screen. So that to me is like amazing. And it reminded me also like the store in the Samsung store in the Meatpacking District, which is only a store that Samsung used to engage with their customer. You cannot even buy products there. So the only reason you go there is to play with the new phones, to take pictures. Sometimes they have like movie nights in this huge screen that they have. So, and there's always a line to get in there. You have to book your tickets in advance, especially in the summer, it gets really popular. So I feel like if the brands are able to kind of like combine the two things, I feel like it will be the best idea. Just what we were saying for the Saint Laurent thing, that in my opinion, in my humble opinion, it was a missed opportunity to have that amazing prop and not being able to kind of like real dance in that machine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, so many people have went into the store just to see if they can play that, and they can't. But
with friends of the Chanel one that you were actually able to play, the one in Japan. So
I think some brands that have effectively done this, though, have made the translation from in-store video game engagement to successful window display are particular in the holiday season, especially in New York City. Two brands off the top of my head that do this brilliantly are Macy's and Bloomingdale's. Every holiday season, because their consumer is more family focused, they're gearing more towards the kids anyway. So Macy's does a great job of creating games that the kids can play. Same thing with Bloomingdale's. They always collaborate with either films or things that are sort of more youth related. so that you can do a karaoke, or you can turn yourself into a snowman. And they capture all of this digital imagery. And of course, the first thing they ask you for is your email, right? So they can then bounce you that information and you can share it on your social media platforms. So it is something that they're creating. They're gamifying Windows. It's slow and steady, but the engagement is there. Particularly for holidays, I think it's successful than anything because you're getting the eyes on the windows, but it's always interesting to see how that's sort of put from a 2D experience to a 3D one.
Yeah. Download all these apps, pick your favorite, let us know which one you like. Some of them are more complex than the other ones. Again, the Gucci one is very complicated. I was losing all the time. But I guess it's just...
it's a good way to kill your time because now a lot of people have free time on their hands. So
well, I don't have much free time.
Yeah, well, some people, but feel free to like dive into that. And just...
I was never a fan of Candy Crush either, so...
Me either.
Okay, you can find all this content on WindowsWear. That's the beauty of it. You can find it there, and you can play our WindowsWear lineup every day from Monday to Friday. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. We have an amazing guest on Thursday, which is Josanna Blue from Ralph Lauren. And on Tuesday, we have Jolene Mojica, which is going to be talking about sustainability in fashion, which is an amazing topic, long topic. Like there's too much that we can discuss about that topic. So Jolene is picking the best projects to talk about on that. Let me see.
It's Earth Day.
Excuse me?
It's Earth Day next Wednesday, so it's perfect.
Oh, really? Okay, perfect.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
We've done that.
I have a question. Thank you. This was great. Oh, perfect. Okay. Jolene, you respond to the question. Perfect. Okay.
Great job, guys. There was a lot of great information.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to always go back to our trends channel because we have a bunch of stuff like this on there.
Is this recorded? Is this recorded? Can we find it on our website or?
Recorded. It will be recorded and put it on YouTube, but this trend report is on WindowsWear already.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, Cindy.
Bye.
Bye, Hida.